Hello and welcome to another episode of the GCSE Maths Question of the Week with me, Mr. Barton, where every week I try my very best to pick you out a delightful question that has been written exclusively for my Diagnostic Questions website by the exam boards to help you prepare as best as you possibly can for your forthcoming GCSE Maths exam. Now, over the last few weeks we've looked at some new topics, but once again I am returning to a tried and tested classic. Indices have been on the GCSE exam for God knows how long, and they are back in full force for the new GCSE. So let's make sure we get our heads around them, because this question in particular has been answered rather poorly on my Diagnostic Questions website. So the question says, evaluate the following: 27 to the power of 2/3. Right, before we dive in, let's get our heads round what the flipping heck the power of 2/3 means. Because this is the stumbling block for a lot of students. Power of 2 at the top, that is your power. So that simply means to the power of 2. What's the 3 at the bottom? Well, the 3 at the bottom is your root. So this is the second power, otherwise known as the square. So we're going to square the number, and it's the third root, otherwise known as the cube root. So all we've got to do is get 27, square it, and then cube root it. Or get 27, cube root it, and then square it. Which one do you fancy doing? I'll tell you something, I am not messing around doing 27 times 27, squaring it, and then trying to think of 3 numbers that multiply together to give me whatever that massive number is. So my advice is always start with the root first. So we need to know the cube root of 27. Now hopefully you know your cube roots, but if you don't, I find this technique really helps. I just write my 3 boxes and I need 3 numbers all the same that multiply together to give me 27. Well, there's not that many numbers that are going to work for this, right? And after a little bit of trying, hopefully you're happy that 3 times 3 times 3, well, 3 times 3 is 9, times another 3 is 27. So what I end up with is, I want the cube root of 27, I want to get my answer, and I want to square it. Well, I know what the cube root of 27 is now. I know, hopefully, that it's 3. And now all I've got to do is square my answer. 3 squared, which, last time I checked, 3 times 3 was 9. So, I've done it. Job's a good one. But you know what I'm going to say now, right? You've only had half the fun if you stop there. Not even half the fun. Because where do these other wrong answers come from? Why is this question causing so much problems? Why would a student get 18, I wonder? What's 18? Well, I reckon they get 18 if they don't know what this power means. And instead, they do 2/3 of 27. Because if you work out 2/3 of 27, well, 1/3 of 27 is 9 times 2, you end up with 18. So that's somebody who doesn't quite know what those powers mean. What about B? So that was A. B, 27 and 2/3. Well, I like this technique. Got to respect this. Don't know what to do with that power. Let's just bring it down next to it. So let's just say that's 27 and 2/3. But no, we know that that 2/3 is a power that needs to be dealt with. And D, I have a bit of sympathy for D. D, they know something about square roots is going on, or something about roots anyway. And maybe they've just taken a gamble and just say, well, let's, I'm sure it's something about, like, if it's a fraction, it's a root or something. Let's just stick a square root down, cross our fingers and hope for the best. But it's not paid off, I'm afraid, this time. What about for an incorrect answer? Because you know I always like to do this. Tell you what, I thought of a good one. What about this? 6. Oh, hello. That's supposed to be a 6. What about that 6? Why would a student end up with 6? Well, I reckon they'd do it if they did this. And honestly, how mad would you beat yourself here? You do all this lovely work. You get the cube root of 27 to be 3. You get to this stage and then you say 3 times 2 is 6. You don't realise it's 3 squared. It happens all the time. Don't let it happen to you. So that is a little kind of whizzy guide through indices. Try the rest of this quiz out. Test yourself to the limit. Make sure you know all about negative indices and the word reciprocal and all that kind of stuff. And if you need help, hop on Mr. Barton Maths, and there's videos, there's worksheets, there's more help than you could ever possibly need on there. And I'll see you for a fresh question of the week next week. Take care. Bye for now.